morning, YouTube. Another fun-filled mission for today. We are going to take and turn those boxes into laundry room. We got a little tiny laundry room here that apparently they remembered that side, or they spec'd that side, and at the last minute, right before close, the homeowners have decided that they want to put the cabinets on that wall as well, along with the sink. So that's our mission for today. So I'm gonna get everything unwrapped, get you on the tripod, and see if I can find a corner where you're out of the way and I'm out of the way, and then we're gonna get started. Okay, we got you up in a little corner there. First thing I gotta do is get rid of all this base trim, and that's really not that tough to do. Raise a knife. Okay, I got everything unwrapped, dragged in here. I didn't figure you wanted to watch it. Kind of boring watching people unwrap cabinets. So we've got, still have shelves. Forgot that step. Okay, shelves are out now. We're going to start with a 36. What we're going to do is a 36 and a 33-inch upper cabinet, and then the same thing with a base cabinet. Normally, cabinets are set 54 inches off the floor. In this area, and with this builder, they like us to do, and you can't see it because the camera's heading the wrong way, based off the others, they want these 58 inches off the floor, which is about right to make sure that when you open the washing machine, the lid of the washer clears the cabinet, is what they're after there. So, we're going to measure 58 inches off the floor, and I'll make a little mark there for our reference. And even though I really don't need it, I'm going to put one over there. Because this is 72 3/4 wide, we have 69 inches of cabinets, so we're going to end up with 1 7/8 of filler on each end. I don't need to mark that, I'm just going to make the fillers and kind of mark themselves when I put the cabinet up there. So, alright then, so the next step, we need to establish where the studs are on the wall. We got one there, and one there, and we're missing one. See, those were shelves and they were really loud when they hit the floor. Isn't that interesting? There is another stud. So with these based on 16 inches, or 18 as the case may be, we're going to have another stud somewhere in that neighborhood right there, based on what's underneath it. Now there's people that are going to love it, they're going to hate it. No matter how I find studs, stud finder, sonar, tapping on the wall, whatever method, I'm going to make a hole in that wall to make absolutely sure that's where the stud center is. A stud finder has the two little lights. They're about as accurate as throwing a stone at the side of a barn. So I know that stud's 1.5 inches wide. There's the center of it. Should be right here. There's one side. There's the other side. I actually hit dead center first try. Now this, I'm going to say is right here. So we know where everything is there. Going to take our kicks. Of course, the plumbing's right in the way. Got an extra click on that one. There we go. So we have 1 7/8 filler. We're 18.5 inches from the corner. There's probably, so you can do all kinds of math, or you can just do it the simple way. We have to move over 1 7/8 for the filler and 1/4 inch for the reveal on the side of the cabinet. So we're going to come over an inch, and then we'll go from 3/8. We're going to move a 7/8, which is a half, and then we're going to do the other quarter. So it's 16 1/4 is how far we're going to be from the end of this cabinet to the first screw. From the first screw to the second screw is 19 3/4 inches because somebody doesn't know how to measure. And that's often, it's going to actually hit right between the two cabinets. So we're going to take advantage of the one stud we have here. We're going to tie this all together. The three together will be more than enough to hold this up. Don't fall. So I've got my hole. Oops, I didn't drill my hole, I just marked it. God, I'm a little rusty on this whole install cabinets thing, huh? Now you'll notice anytime I pick up a cabinet, especially a wall cabinet, I never put the two outside edges on the ground. I mean, they're on it flat, but if I tilt or move this cabinet, I tilt that off the ground to protect this surface. This is what people are going to see. Over more to the center. I'm going to slide this over 1 7/8 inches, which I still need to go out and cut. Alright, that'll be just fine there for a minute. I'm going to run outside and cut a filler and I'll be right back. Okay, so we got our filler cut. We have our tools of destruction. Now what I'm going to do is move this back over a little bit. Since it's on the kicks, it's stable and I don't have to worry about it coming crashing down. And of course it's Monday, so I left all the screws over here. I'll wake up soon. I haven't had enough coffee yet. I caught a grain spot on that, and that filler split just a little back there. Not a tragedy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt the drill, move my arm so you can see, hold that lined up, I'm going to run a second hole off of that point. And with any luck, this is going to work and we'll be able to catch that without having to start with a new filler. Just like that. Countersink just a little bit, and it kind of runs it flush so you can't even tell that there was an issue unless you got up there. If you felt the very tip of it, you could tell, but otherwise from this standing on the ground, you're never going to see it. As it's that minor. So we'll slide this on in over tight. We'll pry out just a little. And we'll grab a level and check it. Actually, we were a little off. Then you go back the other way. Right there. And that's what's nice about having the kick sticks. I can level left and right, and by using the back one, I can go forward and backward and hold that cabinet in any position. It's got the rubber feet on the bottom, and granted, they don't work near as well on the tile as what they do on a concrete floor, but they do still work just fine. Next thing we need to put on here, we have a putty stick in with the screws, and that does not go there. Not even honestly sure where that came from. So, because the back of these cabinets are made out of particle board, we want to put a little beauty ring or a washer on there to keep that screw from pulling through. And we've got 2 of them on this one. We're going to have a minimum of 2 more over there. So I'm just going to go ahead and make up 4 screws. And we'll probably find a way to catch those 2 center ones. But we'll see how this all falls out and where the stud is up top. A lot of times these studs in these houses, because they're slow build, they'll tend to wander just a little bit during the build. So even though that stud's perfectly between the 2 cabinets right now, up at the top it may be off to the right or off to the left a little, and we'll establish how when we get up there. Got our washer and screw, the cabinet's level, we're tight against the wall. Run that sucker in there. We got 15 5/8. So now we know we hit a stud on top and bottom. We should have hit a stud. Now I'm exactly in the same spot, top and bottom. Totally missed the stud down here. And again, that is because of this warp that they've got going. So I believe it's to the left a little bit. Nope, he was to the right. Now the other thing having that washer on there does, now in this case that screw's running at a pretty good angle, looks just fine because the washer hides the tilt of the screw. So, first cabinet's up. We're going to change things just a little bit for the second one. Now I'm going to pull him in here. I guess tilt it off of the face and move it. I mean, you can just pick it up, but when you do this for several years, you stop picking things up all the time and you start sliding a lot more often. Alright, now before we put the cabinet screw in there, or the stud screw, we're going to double check the level again. And in this case, this is a little high. Take that one out altogether. And we've got this one to adjust with. And there we go. We'll see if this one does the same as the other side. See how straight this one is. And that time we'll hit dead center. This is all of our shelf brackets and shelf clips are all tucked up in this corner. And in this case, glued behind the face frame. We've got our filler piece, and we'll get a few more screws, 3 as a matter of fact. Now in this case, the cabinet's already up and it's going to be tight against the wall. So what I like to do is I pre-cut my hole. What I like to do is pre-drill my hole, not pre-cut. We get our filler in position over here. Now I'm not having to hold everything while I drill through both halves. Now I'm off just a little. I'm going to loosen it, let it come down. There we go. Now I'm right on. I'll jump up and get these other two screws in, and we'll go on to the next step. Okay, we need to get these shelves in. And they just ship these cool little L-shaped brackets with a pin on them, and we just stick those in the pinholes. Well, hi there. Battery died, and I missed it. So I got the shelves all installed, and they're ready to go. Have not adjusted the doors yet. I'm going to throw some buildup up top there, and we'll get the scribe and the crown up, and then the upper part of this will be pretty much ready except for the handles, or the hardware. Came real close to tipping that ladder over, in case you missed that. One of the problems with having no knees left after all these years is I tend to climb things with my arms, or stabilize. And that ladder kicked pretty good there. So all we have left is got a piece of crown molding for this. And we ended up 73 and an 8. So I'm going to run outside and cut 73 and an 8, and we'll be back. Okay, we'll see how I did. I didn't pre-fit this before I turned the camera back on. So again, the tricky part of this type of crown is that I nail it from the back. And so it has to be perfect. Nice and snug, snug, snug. And then I'll bring it down, find where my nailer fell to. Wish I had just a slightly taller ladder. Okay. And twice. Well, I lucked out a little bit. I'll tell you, try to stuff these big cabinets through that little door and into this little space and get everything turned around. It's a bit of a challenge, and I got a little reprieve this morning because the AC guy showed up and did the final on the AC and got it kicked on so that so that it cools it off, because I was getting pretty overwarm in here. Tight space, and big fella tends to get too sweaty and miserable pretty quick. So anyway, while I was talking to him and getting the cabinets in here, I went ahead and cut the first filler. So we're going to get that on here, and that'll give us the spacing off the wall so we can cut our plumbing out. Okay, we're going to get that squared around. Now, there's a bunch of ways you can do this. The very easiest, I'm going to measure the distance off the wall left and right. I've got the filler holding it off the wall over on the side. And that tells me that I'm square to that back wall and I'm at the proper distance with the filler. The only thing it doesn't tell me, which I can see, is that we're out of level just a little bit. Yeah, but it's a minimal amount. So we'll correct that once we're in. It's not enough to worry about it. Now, we're going to try something that I have tried before and it hasn't worked. But we're going to try it again. Okay. So, what I do here, and this will be an awkward thing for you to be able to see. I simply come down and I make a cross on each plumbing part and I push them into the center so that they're lined up. And on these big ones, I try to get the four sides as best I can. And between holding the camera and laying over the back of this cabinet, it's a challenge. I'm going to pull the cabinet out now, mark that lower clean out for sure, and then I'll get these drilled. At least you get the idea what I'm up to back here. So we've got the two bigger holes. And in this case, I'm going to use a 2.5-inch hole saw and just go right in the center. And then for water lines, I use 1.25 inches. And there's our plumbing holes. Easy peasy. Assuming I didn't shoot anything up here, everything should fall right in place now and go right back in. And line up. Just like that. And I'm off about an 1/8 or 1/4 here. And again, we're out of level just a tiny bit and not enough to worry about yet. So we'll set that out of the way. Next step, bring this base cabinet over. Now I can take the drawer out and put the screws in from that way, or I can come in from that way on the first one and then open the door, and that's what I'm going to do in this case. Now you notice I haven't screwed anything to the wall down here yet. I'm going to get them all screwed together and leveled, and then we'll screw them to the wall once we're sure where the level is. Alright, all we got is filler on the right. And I'm going to check that level again because I have a feeling we're going to gain a little bit over there with the level. Now we need to come up a little bit more over there. So we'll throw a couple shims in here. Looking good. I'm going to come up a little bit here. That's pretty good there. Front to back are right on. So I think we can call that good right there. Now we do have a little bit of an issue here with that wall. Not too bad though. So we're going to have a space back here that we're going to need to drop a shim in just to fill that up. Let's see, where was our space? Right here. So we'll have a shim here, and we're going to have a shim here. And all that does is that just keeps that from drawing that out of level as the screws goes in the back. How about that? 1 7/8 again. So I'm gonna get this other filler cut. Oh, there we go. Oof. Does this camera make my belly fat? Yes, it does. But so does my belly. And when you're tied up against the wall, especially when you got a door frame and all this crap in your way, one of the easier ways to do it, take a shim, slide your filler down in. In this case, it's going to hold because this wall wobbles a little bit going down through there. But if it didn't, you can take it and slide a shim right down in on the side there, and that holds that in place for you. Just as an extra hand that's not in the way. There we go. That. We're ready to put our drawer back. Oh, we've got our scribe cut. Grab our little Makita. I'm sorry, Milwaukee nailer. Hold it in my hand, don't know what I'm holding. Now again, because of this doorway, this is a really awkward fit. With this little guy, you can actually fit up in there, but even with it, it's tight. I wanted to even see if you could see what I was doing. Alright, so we get our scribe nailed on here. We're going to take a little notch out of this toe kick. And I think what I'll do, I'm going to go 72.5 inches. And I'm actually going to run out the garage and cut this just because it's a little less awkward to do it that way. So we have everything is in, doors are adjusted, toe kick is on, trim is on, crown is on. So essentially, it's done. You just need to throw these hardware, which if you've watched any of the other videos, you've seen me already do. And we're going to call this complete. So you can stay if you want, or you can click off and go watch somebody else do something else. That takes care of that one, if you stuck around and watch the high-speed hardware. But we're all wrapped up here. I'm going to get my tools cleaned up and get on the road, and we'll get on to the next one. I've got a little bit of touch-up around the house to do. I'm going to clean this up just a little bit before I go, and then we're off. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I need to get some subscribers. I've got lots of people watching, not that many subscribing, so hit that button and add yourself to the group.